Hello friends, we're taking a look at today's tickers. We're going to be checking out CPE, TSLA, Shopify, TLRY, GoPro, Zoom, NIO, and Amazon in that particular order. These are tickers that members of the Chart Guys community have asked me to take a little deep dive into. Every day in that Chart Guys community, this is what we do. We talk about charts, we look at analysis, we share ideas, and if you are into charts, then we want to be your friend. Check out chartguys.com. If you're interested in that sort of thing. And if you're watching the video, you probably are. All right, let's take a look at first at SPY. The reason we're looking at SPY is because we established our 4-hour higher low. Now we're going to be looking for a 4-hour lower high underneath the 366.77 level, which means in the short term, we're going to be looking for a bit of upside. So we have the expectation that any names that are well positioned for bull moves, if the market decides to continue its upside move that we to a degree saw at the end of the day. We'll take a look at that here on the 5-minute time frame. Buying that low and closing the day green, that is a vote for the upside hunt for that 4-hour lower high, and that is what we're after. A little bit sidetracked already. Let's take a look at CPE. Not a name I've ever looked at before. Callon Petroleum. Daily time frame, we had earnings a little while ago. We had a little bit of a gap up. Actually, it's a lot of a gap up from a $5 stock to a $6 stock, pretty respectable. So now we're waiting for things to settle. We're not sure why we gapped up like this, but we need to let that sort of flesh out a little bit. So we're going to go to our 4-hour time frame. Have we changed the trend here? No, we're still setting lower lows and lower highs, so there is a downtrend, and I don't see anything jumping out at me as ultra positive right now. Bear volume is declining a little bit. Going to the hourly time frame, this is where we can start to see a little bit of a tightening range, and it's not tight enough for me to be drawing any sort of pattern yet, but we see this lower low, 662, and we've got today's low of day at 647. We have lower highs at 706, so we need to change at a minimum this hourly trend. I don't think we can draw a trend line here, but it does look a little bit wedgy. A wedge is a pattern that we use to represent a tightening range between our lows and our highs. And this is not a good example of it, but we get this ping pong sort of action where things tighten up. And in any sort of pattern, when you have a tightening range, that is the same volume overall combined with a tight range often results in an explosive move to either direction. So in this case, if we broke bull, I think that could easily go to 706 and test that resistance. But like I said, not a greatest pattern. At a minimum, we're going to be looking for a trend change. We want to see a lower high under 706 and a higher low over today's low of day. And then that would look something like this, where there's that high, we come establish a lower high, higher low, and then we change the trend like that. That is best case scenario that will allow ththese bulls to build the base of support. Other than that, on CPE, I don't see a lot of confidence. Tesla, almost the opposite issue. Not in terms of confidence, there's still a lack of confidence and direction that we can see clearly on the daily time frame. We are going back and forth and back and forth. The weekly time frame, red, green, red, green. If we go to the monthly, we might get a sense. Let's go to the 2-week, actually. 2-week time frame, still choppy back and forth. And when you don't have clarity on a chart, you essentially just need to go and figure out what's happening on a time frame that gives you clarity. And on the Tesla monthly time frame, we can see we have one inside bar, and we're currently 11 days into another inside bar. When you're in an inside bar, that is literally a lack of direction. And that's why and how we get these periods where it goes up and it comes back down and goes up, and we hit a resistance, we break it, but it doesn't matter because we come right back down. There's a real lack of direction in Tesla, and that is very, very well represented on the daily time frame. We are going back and forth, breaking 448, and if you follow my other videos, I talked about that level a lot. Didn't get a lot of follow through, came back down, broke 406.05, now we're bouncing. It gets difficult to trade in these sort of conditions, and that will impact our ability to make accurate assessments on the daily time frame. We may, however, be able to get an idea what's going on in the hourly, so let's go take a look at that. Hourly time frame, we had this big drop. Lower lows, lower highs. We established a low at 396.03. Today's base of support has given us a little confidence, so I would be looking for an hourly move to the upside if we can break over this range at 418.50. Not a lot of confidence or expectation. If we manage to get that, I would look for resistance right away at 425. Just a short, quick move. Take what you can get when the daily time frame is not giving you a lot of clarity. It is a big fight back and forth, and still no one has won this overall showdown on Tesla. Let's see if anything jumps out at me from the other charts. Yeah, just a lot of chop. Multiple inside bars in the hourly time frame. No follow through. It's kind of ugly. Shopify, daily time frame, big strong day today, good volume, and it looks like we are going to be heading back to the upside. It's also Marabuzzo close, in which case, much like SPY, I'm going to be looking for a lower high under 1,047. That is not the correct number. Magnets on 1,045. The difference between SPY and this guy is I am not in an overall uptrend on Shopify. I'm in fact on a daily downtrend, so that adds to my expectation to form a lower high under 1045 and then a new low. We do see a bit of a broadening formation here. Not terribly helpful for us, but we can also use that to guide what we might expect for a lower high to form. So if we get up to 1019 tomorrow, we collide with this downward sloping trend line, and we're looking for a lower high in the daily. That might be a good place for us to seek out that type of level. Hourly time frame. Obviously, bulls controlled the latter part of the day and actually most of today's action. Nice contained volume picking up, almost Marabuzzo close. No real resistance on the hourly time frame. If we have to go to the 4-hour, yeah, almost a V-shaped recovery. So not a lot slowing down the bulls right now. The only thing I would be a little bit cautious about would be our, and let's wait for it, RSI levels. They're going to be a little bit out of whack with this big drop over here because the RSI is based on 14 periods. So we're still lagging a little bit. So we need to watch our hourly overbought. 5-minute and 15-minute, almost certainly overbought today. There's that 15, big volume at the end of the day. 71.33 is our RSI level. Nothing slowing the bulls down, certainly in control. I'll be looking for short-term trend changes, no real resistances either. So Shopify bulls are in a very good position. If the market continues to seek its lower high and carries Shopify and gives it a little bit of momentum. So far so good on Shopify. TLRY, this one was interesting on the 5-minute time frame. We saw this in quite a few names. ACB was a great one where we just saw a fake out. We dropped below key support and bears were just not there at all. Saw a complete reversal right to the upside. So daily time frame, TLRY has a little bit of an indecisive, long-legged spinning top. So a big volatility in both directions as we saw on the 5-minute time frame. If this is a daily high or low, it's a beautiful spot to pull that off. We would be looking for upside continuation at this point. And what we're going to need to see is a good hourly trend change. Right now, we set our low. We haven't really moved away from it on the 4-hour. We're making an attempt with a higher high. Now we need to get a nice higher low over the low of this morning. We're going to call that support right here at, come on, 735. We need an hourly higher low, looking for 15-minute trend change early tomorrow. If we see a nice solid mid-range open and a break over top of today's high of day, which is 860, we would be well positioned for continuation, and an hourly uptrend would be pretty much locked in place. Key 60, key level for the bulls into tomorrow's action. Now let's take a look at GoPro. GoPro daily time frame. Inside bar in the daily following 2 big days of bear action. That's good. That tells us that we are at least hesitating here. It doesn't give us a change of direction yet, but an inside bar is something that we can work with. So let's go and take a look at that. Low volume day, inside bar day. We need to clear break of one of these levels. On the hourly time frame, let's embiggen this a little bit. We're going to turn on extended hours so it's more in line with what we're expecting. Here's our inside bar day. We have overall an hourly uptrend. It's very, very cautious at this point. So what we're going to look for is going to be that 712 break. And if we can get over top of that 712, let's go to the 4-hour time frame to see what is up there. Ooh, if we close this 4-hour time frame, that's going to give us 4-hour bull break and our daily inside bar bull break. That's what we want to see. Let's make sure, guys. Let's work together to pull this off. If the hourly bulls stay in this range, 4-hour bulls stay in this range, and the daily bulls all break 712 during regular action tomorrow, things are looking pretty good for GoPro. And a good target for that, oh, hard to say, actually. Well, I think the high of 725 is a good target. If we can get into this big range, let's make this a little bit easier to understand for everybody. Our next target would be the high of this 4-hour candlestick. So let's see what works out for the GoPro bulls, well positioned for tomorrow. Zoom on the daily time frame. Trying again to establish a daily low, find a new base of support, still looking for a lower high underneath, 505.88. 4-hour time frame is in a 4-hour downtrend as well. Hourly bulls currently in control, but facing a pretty stiff obstacle here at the EMA 26 on the hourly time frame. It's going to look a little bit different with our extended hours on, but really haven't confirmed a solid trend change on Zoom yet. So if we're able to confirm a 4-hour higher low, we have the possibility of changing the trend, but unfortunately Zoom's got a lot of proving to do here on the daily time frame to do much of anything. We're still expecting a lower high tomorrow. Open mid-range, we're going to be looking for a break of today's high of day for a little bit of bull confidence. And beyond that, it's up to the bulls to prove that they have what it takes to break this resistance up here. NIO, this one was fun. So NIO on the daily time frame, we broke out of our hourly channel yesterday. Now we are in a bit of a broadening range. We've got our high sitting here. Let's get our extended hours going. Yeah, we got our resistance up at 45.34. We've set a new 4-hour low. So now we're looking for a 4-hour lower high into an extended 4-hour downtrend. We will prove that if we break 37.96. The issue here is that we're chopping around quite a bit. This is a big range that has been established, and because we got that volatility back and forth, it has really negated a lot of the work that the bulls did and the bears did establishing support and resistance levels on the way up here. So we're in a little bit of a new range, and we're trying to figure out what exactly that means. And that was really evident on the hourly time frame. If we look at the hourly time frame today, let's go back to NIO. NIO had this big range. We had a nice inside bar showing consolidation. Then we broke bull. Bulls had nothing. They had no gas. We broke that key level, came right back down, didn't do anything else with it. And the next bar was another inside bar. So bulls had nothing, bears had nothing. Finally, we broke our key level. And at that point, bulls really picked up the volume. So we can go look at that break. And on the 5-minute time frame, maybe even the 2-minute time frame, we can see there that volume ramps up. So let's adjust that. Where was that level? Right there. Volume speeds up, crack right through that key inside bar, and off you go. So beautiful play on NIO. How does it help us in the long term? Well, shows us that bull confidence. Let's look for a reversal up in the area under a 45.34 into a little bit of a downturn. If that happens, great. If not, then 45.34 is the target for the bulls to get over top of. Get that done. And we are, well, we're at all-time highs, I believe, right? Yeah, we are. So not a lot slowing the bulls down yet, but I would like to see some more consolidation because our daily time frame is still pretty extended. 75.62 4-hour time frame with extended hours on is just over the last 48 hours or so down under sub 70. Amazon, it's our last one for the day. Amazon had a beautiful 15-minute squeeze toward the end of the day. We can see that showing up here. Let's load the squeeze indicator. So here is that big upside volume. Look at this squeeze. So we saw this yesterday as well. Extended hours are off for this indicator. We see the squeeze, we see the volume validation, we see price action validation, breakout. We're doing the same thing again today. We had a little bit of that momentum taper off, price action still moving to the upside, squeeze at the end of the day, volume indicator goes off, and our price action validation indicator goes off, the little dots you see. And then we end the day with a nice close to Marabuzzo close on Amazon. So if Amazon decides that it wants to go bullish tomorrow and the market decides it wants to play along as well, Amazon bulls are well positioned for what? A lower high test. Lower high test is going to be underneath 33.72. And that would be, well, it would be nice if bulls could break that, but that's quite a range to work through. 4-hour time frame is just looking for a lower high as well, given the range of this move. And in the hourly time frame, nice hourly higher low set. See a green bar close. First thing tomorrow morning, that's really going to lock that in as well. And where's our hourly resistance? A little bit of pre-market right there in the range of, let's call it 31.50. Overall, Amazon bulls are looking just fine. And they seem well positioned for continuation into tomorrow if the market decides to do what it loves to do. That is it for today. Hopefully it was useful for you guys. If you like this sort of analysis, you want to ask a question about something that I looked at today, feel free to post a comment. I will make more of an effort to make sure I can respond to those. Yeah, and here's a fun one. We got a phone number on our website. If you got a question, you just want to chat about charts, give me a call. Sometimes people do. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, that's it for today. Have a good one.